In a world of ice, survival was a relentless battle. The wind howled across endless plains of snow, a landscape both beautiful and unforgiving. This was the late Pleistocene, a time when colossal beasts roamed the frozen earth. Herds of woolly mammoths, their shaggy coats dusted with frost, moved like mountains across the tundra. Giant bison and woolly rhinos carved paths through deep drifts. And watching them, shadows against the glaring white, were our ancestors. For them, every sunrise brought a single stark choice: hunt or perish. This is the story of their courage, their ingenuity, and their will to endure in the face of giants. To challenge a mammoth, a creature 10 times their size, required more than just bravery. It demanded preparation, skill, and tools forged from the very bones of the land. Back in the flickering warmth of their caves, the hunters worked with focused intensity. You can almost hear the rhythmic scrape of stone against stone as they sharpened flint spearheads, each edge honed to a razor-sharp point. They worked bone and antler, carving them into deadly points and durable tools. Animal sinew, tough and flexible, was braided into powerful ropes, strong enough to restrain a struggling beast. They tested every knot, every spear shaft, every stone axe. Their lives, and the lives of their entire tribe, depended on the quality of their craftsmanship. As the final preparations were made, torches were lit, their flames dancing in the darkness, a symbol of human resolve against the encroaching cold. With their weapons ready, the hunt began. A small, experienced party of hunters ventured out into the vast, silent wilderness. The world was their map, and they read it with an expertise born of generations. They were trackers, following signs invisible to the untrained eye. A single giant footprint pressed deep into the snow. A tuft of coarse brown fur caught on a thorny bush. A freshly broken branch. Each clue told a story, painting a picture of the mammoth's path, its size, and how long ago it passed. They moved with a quiet, patient grace, their bodies low to the ground, using the sparse cover of frozen shrubs and rocky outcrops to remain unseen. The tension was a living thing, a silent current that passed between them. Every snap of a twig, every gust of wind could give them away. This was a deadly game of stealth, a stalk that could last for days. As dusk began to settle, casting long purple shadows across the snow, the hunters gathered. The tracks were fresh. The herd was close. Huddled around a small, smokeless fire, the lead hunter began to map out the strategy. Using the burn end of a stick, he drew in the dirt, the firelight illuminating the focused expressions on their faces. Lines represented the herd's direction. Circles marked the hunters' positions. There was no spoken language as we know it, but communication was clear and precise. A series of hand signals, a pointed finger, a shared glance. Each gesture carried a weight of meaning, a silent contract of trust and shared purpose. They were a single unit, their minds working in concert. The plan was an ambush, a calculated risk that would use the landscape itself as a weapon. Under the cloak of darkness, the tribe worked together with quiet efficiency. The plan required a trap, and they began to dig. Using shovels made from the shoulder blades of giant deer, they excavated a deep pit along the mammoth's anticipated path. The frozen ground was hard, but their determination was harder. Once the pit was deep enough, they sharpened heavy wooden stakes and drove them into the bottom, points facing up. Then, they carefully laid a lattice of branches over the opening, camouflaging their work with a blanket of leaves and loose snow. From a distance, it was invisible, a seamless part of the winter landscape. It was a testament to their collective effort, a trap not of strength, but of intelligence and foresight. The stage was set. As the first light of dawn broke the horizon, the air grew thick with anticipation. The hunters took their positions, hidden in the terrain. On a signal, the torches were lit, their flames suddenly piercing the gray morning. A chorus of shouts erupted, a primal roar designed to startle and to steer. The effect was instantaneous. The mammoth herd, grazing peacefully, was thrown into a state of panic. The immense animals trumpeted in alarm, their massive bodies turning in confusion. The hunters, appearing from all sides, used the noise and fire to channel the stampede, driving the terrified beast directly toward the hidden trap. The ground thundered with the weight of the fleeing giants, a chaotic symphony of power and fear. The hunters had turned the mammoth's own strength against them. Now the pursuit was on. The hunters ran with a speed and agility that defied the harsh conditions, their fur-lined boots kicking up clouds of snow. They were a blur of motion, running alongside the stampeding herd, a dangerous dance with giants. They needed to isolate a target, a young adult separated from the group in the chaos. With a surge of adrenaline, they closed in. Spears, held with a lifetime of practice, were hurled through the air. They flew with incredible force and accuracy, aimed at the animal's flank. Some glanced off the thick hide, but others found their mark. We see the impact, a slow-motion testament to the power of these stone-tipped weapons. The chase was a brutal, exhausting ballet of life and death, played out on a canvas of white. One mammoth, wounded and confused, stumbled directly into the camouflage pit. With a deafening crash, the branches gave way, and the great beast fell. The hunt was over. A hush fell over the landscape, the echoes of the chase fading into the wind. The hunters slowly, cautiously, approached the fallen giant. There was no celebration, not yet. Instead, there was a moment of profound, quiet respect. They stood before the creature that would grant them life, its immense form now still. The lead hunter placed a hand on its furry side, a gesture of gratitude, an acknowledgement of the spirit they had taken. It was a solemn, emotional connection between the hunter and the hunted, a ritual as old as humanity itself. The sacrifice of this one life would ensure the survival of their people. The journey back to the camp was arduous, but their spirits were high. The successful hunt meant more than just food. It meant warmth, tools, and security for the entire tribe. The news of their return was met with cheers. The whole community, from the youngest children to the oldest elders, came together to process the bounty. The work of butchering the colossal animal was a communal effort, with everyone playing a part. The meat was shared according to custom, ensuring that everyone received a portion. Some was cooked and eaten immediately in a communal feast, a rare moment of plenty and celebration. The rest was preserved for the long, hard winter ahead. Strips of meat were hung over smoky fires or stored in pits dug into the permafrost nature's freezer. This mammoth was their lifeline. As night fell, the tribe gathered around the central fire, its flames a beacon of life and community in the vast, dark expanse. The storyteller, an elder whose face was a map of past hunts and hard winters, recounted the day's events.